last week, I want to clarify that I do believe Israel has committed genocide in Gaza, and I want to explain why I hesitated at the debate.
This motherfucker is 6'7", by the way. Don't even meme about that. It's not even on some meme shit. Literally 6'7". What the fuck are we doing? What are you doing in Congress? What are you doing in California Senate? Like, you should be out there balling. You should be hooping. Ridiculous. Okay, 6'7", don't know ball. What the fuck are we doing? Okay, what a waste. What a waste. Yeah, go grab a rebound. Okay.
For the past 2 years, I have harshly opposed Israel's escalations in Gaza, and I've used phrases like total destruction and catastrophic levels of death and moral stain. But I haven't used the word genocide, and I want to explain why. As a Jew, I am deeply aware that the word genocide was created in the wake of the Holocaust, which was the industrial extermination of...
Wait, what? That's not even true. No, it was the Armenian genocide. Brother, what is going on, man? What is happening? No, it was the Armenian genocide. That was the initial like conceptualization of genocide and wholesale extermination. And obviously genocides had taken place before, guys. I'm just saying the word, the invention of the word, or like it coming to prominence is I believe the Armenian genocide. It wasn't the Holocaust. Legally, the word genocide wasn't used until the Holocaust and the Nuremberg trials. Yeah, but even then, it's not. This is not correct. If he's talking about the Genocide Convention, sure. Which is ironic because the guys who wrote the Genocide Convention very quickly, years before, admit you're wrong. Hassan, I'm shaking my head. Yeah, the term genocide was coined by Polish-Jewish lawyer Raphael Lemkin in the early 1940s. Again, shouts out to the Lemkin Institute. Guess who fucking recognized Israel doing a genocide maybe 2 years prior to Scott Wiener? The Lemkin Institute. So what are we even talking about? Not only... like, there is nothing salvageable here, okay? Not only is it incorrect and it's wrong, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. There it is. Polish-Jewish lawyer Raphael Lemkin coined the term genocide between 1941 and 1943. Lemkin's coinage combined the Greek word genos, race, people, with the Latin suffix seido, act of killing. As a law student, his interest in the subject was initially sparked by the Armenian genocide. Okay? In any case, this is not even an adequate argument to deny the current, ongoing genocide that Israel is doing. But Lemkin came up with the word in the 40s, citing the Armenian genocide, but the word itself was in his book, Axis Rule in Occupied Europe, about the Holocaust. Okay. Also, industrial genocide is basically every genocide that could be done with modern weapons. So you don't deny it? Deny what? The word was coined during the Holocaust, but he used Armenia as the basis to label the Holocaust as a genocide. The two go together because it creates a policy basis that genocides are not aberrant. Anyway, now that you guys learned a little bit more about Raphael Lemkin's coinage of the term genocide, shouts out to Scott for this take. The point that actually matters here is this is utterly irrelevant. Okay, the Holocaust is not like a special form of genocide. It is industrialized massacre, and it was heavily documented and studied extensively, but it's certainly not the only version of genocide that has taken place. Okay? Like the exceptionalist nature of looking at the Holocaust, especially when you even consider like what Germans did to other places even before internally committing this fascist act, colonialism turned inwards, as we like to say. That's what fascism is. There have been industrialized massacres, never to the same extent and never to the same, I guess, rapid acceleration, severity. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is not simply over semantics. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because this sort of exceptionalization of the Holocaust, especially in the direction of defending the current ongoing Israeli genocide is disgusting. That's the reason why I'm like, this is not just like a misunderstanding or a simple disagreement. I think this is very deliberate. And it's probably not even being conducted intentionally. Like, I don't think that Scott knows what he's saying. I think this is so baked in to the consciousness of people who get a lot of Zionist indoctrination early on that he's having even when he is having a conversation about like recognizing the Israeli genocide, he just automatically drops a couple lines in there that the trained ear can pick up on. And this is one of those things. Okay?
I am deeply aware that the word genocide was created in the wake of the Holocaust, which was the industrial extermination of 6 million Jews. For many Jews, associating the word genocide with the Jewish state of Israel is deeply painful and frankly traumatic. But despite that pain,
like the gall, the audacity, you know what I mean? Like think about the like even this assessment, even this statement in and of itself betrays the severity, betrays the real death toll that Scott is supposed to recognize here, or rather the real violence that he is supposed to be taking ownership over in terms of his recognition, right? And in terms of his own actions that he is supposed to be saying, my bad, over, right? Like, there is no other world where you can say, oh, well, like, this would be akin to a German person saying, like, well, Germany suffered tremendous hardships in the wake of World War I, so I felt some type of way about taking ownership over the Holocaust because, like, we had been wronged, Like, so it's just it's very difficult for me to take ownership over this in some way, shape, or form. Like, not even a German in Germany, by the way. I'm talking about like a German in America, right? If you were to say something like that, because of the severity of the crime itself, the Holocaust, people would look at you and go, what the fuck are you saying? But here in the United States of America in 2026, because of our mutual understanding that like genocide is just a word, basically, okay? That genocide is simply just a word, right? You can kind of get away with saying something like this where you're like, yeah, my personal feelings on this issue are far more important as a Jewish person. Like, the importance of the word genocide for me and the severity of that word overrode my clear and calm assessment of what Israel was doing. Like, this is not a very good way to make up for all of the advocacy that you did for the last 2 years against those who had arrived at this position far before you did. Right? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say here? Like, I think this is the reason why I think this is already insincere. The good and the bad is this. It's bad because it's obviously fucking insincere. He has a lot more to do in terms of making up for it. And I don't even know if he would be able to make up for it in time for the actual election. But the good thing here, the silver lining here, is that he even feels the need to come out and say that this is, a real recognition of genocide, because he understands that now, if you want to win an election, you have to say that. You have to say the truth. He has to do this. And to me, that actually is another clear indication of this massive sea change, this massive tide shift.
And that trauma, we all have eyes, and we see the absolute devastation and catastrophic death toll in Gaza inflicted by the Israeli government. And we all have ears, and we hear the genocidal statements by certain senior members of the Israeli government. And to me, the Israeli government has tried to destroy Gaza and to push Palestinians out, and that qualifies as genocide.
Performative male behavior. That's funny. True. So, yeah, I mean, there's still obviously like the whole, it's just like some members of the Israeli government are doing this, and it's not like being loudly fucking cheered on or anything like that. And this is the worst of both worlds for someone like Scott, because when he comes out and says this, he's not going to get any grace from the anti-Zionists, obviously, because we all know what he was up to for the last 2 years. He's also not going to get any grace from the Zionists, because they're going to be like, how dare you betray your own people? Like, this is what the fuck? How dare you recognize that there is a genocide at all? There is no genocide. That's blood libel. It's utterly preposterous. And basically, you know, you're cooked, I think. I don't know. I feel like this is totally ridiculous. Like, he should have fucking slammed the yes. If he wanted to, if I was his campaign manager, I would have told him to slam that yes ASAP, and then also do a follow-up video being like, hey guys, I know I've done a lot of fucked up shit, but I just wanted to clarify certain things, okay? This, on the other hand, is the worst possible way to deal with this. Stop Anti-Semitism replied to him and said they still support him because he believes in Zionism. I think they also see this as an opportunist statement, and he doesn't actually mean it, but in the opposite direction. Yeah, true. But like I said, the very fact that a person who was so loud and so proud in defending Israel for the last 2 years, coming out and having to do this, like, I'm really sorry for what I did moment, like, it is truly, for those who have been around, for those who are aware of Palestine, for those who are engaging in anti-Zionist, pro-Palestinian advocacy for a lot longer than, you know, post-October 7, this is a very interesting moment. It's a very interesting moment to observe, you know, because I never in a million years would have thought that you would have a Zionist state senator from the state of California who has actively defended Israel over and over again turn around and be like, actually, Israel is doing a genocide, even if he doesn't fucking sincerely believe it. You know what I mean? It's a huge sea change. Take the W where you can, I guess.